All right, music fans, welcome back again to the Real Music Observer. My name is Dave. I'm observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there. And this dude here, Lynyrd Skynyrd, has announced a farewell tour. Holy crap, Batman. Everyone's announcing a farewell tour. Elton John, of course, Neil Diamond doesn't have an opportunity to do a farewell tour. He just hung it up because of his Parkinson's. Look, Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'm going to mess this up. You got Donnie, you got Ronnie, and you got Johnny. And I was a huge fan of the Ronnie Van Zant Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, since the plane crash and a number of other tragedies where band members have moved on to another life, here's the deal. I haven't been a huge fan of this reworked version of Skynyrd, and here's why. Johnny Van Zant, who I loved his solo material during the 1980s. His voice had a certain quality to it. The music had kind of one foot in Southern rock, but another foot in what I call real album-oriented rock, a lot like what 38 Special was doing, and it was good. It was good stuff. Right up until the album with Brickyard Road, if you know what that is. I really, really dug the guy. Since he took over on vocals for Skynyrd, the only album I'm really recommending that they put out is an album called Endangered Species, where they did a couple of unplugged versions of the Skynyrd classics, very stripped down, nice arrangements. But here's the deal about Johnny. His voice is very raspy. It's a different quality. He does not really sound like his brother, Ronnie. Donnie, who is in 38 Special, this is confusing. Donnie, okay, I thought his voice was closer to Ronnie's voice, and I think he would have probably made a better lead singer for Lynyrd Skynyrd, but Johnny picked up the torch, and he ran with that torch. Look, they had a run for a long time. I had the pleasure of meeting not Skynyrd, but Kid Rock prior to a Skynyrd show. Kid Rock was opening up for Skynyrd, or he might have been the headliner. My old boss over at the radio station said, hey, want to go see Skynyrd and Kid Rock? And I said, okay. I'm not really into Kid Rock, but I'll tell you what, he is a great guy because he's into what's good. In other words, his musical tastes are awesome. I'm just not a huge fan of his music. A couple of tunes I can tolerate, but the stuff he was doing on stage, I was like, okay. But he probably, if he ever sees this video, he's going to say, dude, you're hanging out backstage and you don't even like me? Yeah, kinda. I mean, he's not a bad guy, and his music is interesting. Let's put it that way. But Skynyrd, this reworked version of Skynyrd, they put on a good show. They've come out with music, and the music has been very esoteric. That old stuff from the Muscle Shoals days, you just cannot. That is just such the quintessential classic American rock band sound, and to carry on after that plane crash, that was rough. A number of years went by, and they really didn't touch the franchise. And then I think they revived it around 1987 or so, and they put out an album, live album, and so forth. And there were some original guys who were still in it, but as time has gone on, it's, you got Ricky Metlock from Blackfoot who's in it, and who's in and out of it, I don't know, but, I guess to keep the heritage of it alive is interesting, and you're going to sell a lot of concert tickets on this farewell tour, because Skynyrd represents something cultural, and especially for the South, it's, this is one of the greatest bands, American bands, that ever will be. They should be certainly in the top 5, but again, their repertoire was cut short, and who knows the kind of music they would have made moving forward. I mean, they could be like the Eagles or Chicago or the Beach Boys as far as impact, but instead they're more just, more legendary as opposed to impactful. But you can still you could still listen to those older records, and those could be desert island discs. They're all amazing. They're soulful. They're southern. They rock. At times they're introspective. There's so much good music on those albums. So this is another big sort of chink in the classic rock armor as this whole genre begins to collapse in on itself. It's a shame, and there are really not a whole lot of groups coming up through the ranks. I mentioned Greta Van Fleet, that Led Zeppelin-ish band, a couple days back, and a lot of people have thanked me for pointing them out. I don't know of any Lynyrd Skynyrd replacements. I don't even think the current version of Lynyrd Skynyrd is a Lynyrd Skynyrd replacement. It's a really good cover or tribute band, but it's nothing like the original Skynyrd. And I would go see them live just to say that I saw them on the farewell tour, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of folks who are buying tickets for that. All right, for the Real Music Observer, it's Dave observing real music in real time for real people, just like you and just like me. And yes, again, I will be back with more real music for you real soon. We'll talk to you then.